U.S. Army orders 50 new AMPVs to start replacing 900 M113 APCs sent to Ukraine. The U.S. Army is preparing to procure additional armored multi-purpose vehicles to restore Armored Brigade support capacity depleted by the transfer of legacy M113s to Ukraine, keeping armored formations fully mission-capable for high-intensity combat. The plan, funded through a Pentagon reconciliation package submitted to Congress, earmarks roughly $250 million for 50 AMPVs, with a contract award expected before April. The move matters less as a simple backfill than as a readiness hedge. Within an Armored Brigade Combat Team, the track support fleet that moves command posts, casualties, and mortar fires must survive the same artillery and drone-saturated battlefield as Abrams and Bradleys, not trail behind it. The scale of the gap is visible in U.S. security assistance totals. The Department of Defense has listed more than 900 M113 armored personnel carriers provided to Ukraine, along with other ground maneuver equipment that has drawn down older U.S. inventories. In capability terms, the M113 was never designed for today's threat environment, and its limitations are amplified by Ukraine's battlefield lessons. Mines, top attack munitions, loitering drones, and massed artillery punish lightly protected carriers and unarmored command nodes. The Army's reconciliation purchase is therefore aimed at restoring the protected mobility that makes armored brigades coherent fighting systems rather than a collection of separate battalions. AMPV is the Army's structural answer to that problem inside Armored Brigade Combat Teams, replacing an M113 family that comprises about 30% of the brigade's tracked fleet. The platform is derived from the Bradley line and shares common elements of powertrain and suspension with Bradley and the M109A7 Paladin, a deliberate choice to reduce the logistical burden in formations already centered on those vehicles. That commonality also supports the Army's stated goal of integrating future network and mission systems without creating a unique sustainment island around a critical support vehicle. The Army's full-rate production decision set the conditions to deliver brigade sets at scale, with the first fully equipped brigade receiving more than 130 AMPVs after completing training. The armament suite is intentionally modest but tactically important because AMPVs fight for survival while performing support missions. In the general-purpose configuration, the vehicle is typically fitted with a protected one-man turret mounting a 12.7mm heavy machine gun, and variants have also been equipped with remotely operated weapon stations, giving crews the option to engage under armor while reducing exposure to snipers, fragments, and drones. Across the family, accepted weapon fits include 5.56mm and 7.62mm machine guns, the M2 12.7mm, and the MK 1940mm automatic grenade launcher, providing suppressive fire against dismounted threats and light vehicles while escorting logistics elements or moving command groups through contested routes. The practical employment model is straightforward. The vehicle commander controls observation and fires from the turret or remote station, while the driver keeps pace with maneuver elements, using suppressive bursts to break contact rather than seeking decisive engagements. AMPV family is the mortar carrier's ability to bring immediate indirect fires forward under armor. The M1287 mortar carrier integrates a mounted 120mm mortar with stowage for 69 rounds and a digital mortar fire control system, enabling responsive fires during fast-paced offensive operations. In Armored Brigade Combat Team tactics, that translates into company and battalion mortars that can displace quickly, fire, and move again before counter-battery effects arrive, while remaining survivable enough to operate inside the brigade's deep fight. As the Army pushes mission command and fires networks down echelon, a protected mortar carrier that can stay connected, keep up, and survive is a capability multiplier, not just a transport for a tube. AMPV's broader operational value comes from how the other variants convert protection and internal volume into usable combat power. Mission command variants host battle command systems, satellite communications, and digital workstations that allow commanders to plan and synchronize fires while moving with the formation. Medical evacuation platforms can carry up to 4 litter patients or 6 ambulatory patients under armor, while medical treatment variants provide a protected treatment environment closer to the line of contact. These variants are not rear area luxuries. They are the connective tissue that keeps armored brigades fighting after the first casualty spike, the first communications disruption, and the first resupply shock. A key indicator of where the Army wants to take AMPV armament and survivability is the push toward fully under-armor fire support. A recent prototype demonstrated integration of an unmanned turreted 120mm mortar using a modified top-plate architecture, pointing to a future in which mortar crews remain protected for the full mission cycle and can execute high-tempo effects, such as multiple-round simultaneous impact. Such configurations could enable rapid salvos with several rounds impacting within seconds of each other, while offering options for firing from short halts or prepared positions. Even if the baseline mortar carrier remains in its current configuration, the prototype demonstrates the growth path: protected, networked, and faster fire missions without trading away survivability. Why the Army needs this reconciliation by now is also a budget and industrial-based question. AMPV remains a major tracked combat vehicle line item in the Army's procurement portfolio, with unit costs in the multi-million-dollar range that make production stability critical. The reconciliation funding allows the Army to accelerate replacement of M113s transferred overseas while sustaining the production line and avoiding gaps that could drive up future costs. The near-term outcome is pragmatic. The Army is using a Ukraine-driven replenishment requirement to accelerate the retirement of an aging platform that cannot credibly support armored brigades in the modern threat environment. The longer-term significance is that AMPV is becoming a chassis strategy, not just an M113 replacement, with credible room for more advanced armament and mission packages as the Army adapts to drone warfare, electronic attack, and compressed engagement timelines. If the reconciliation by proceeds is planned, it will signal that the Army intends to keep armored brigades fully enabled and fully protected, even as inventories are stressed by sustained security assistance commitments.